Close your eyes. Focus. Listen to work getting done with Monday.com. Relax as AI does the manual work, while your teams are aligned on a single source of truth. Feel the sensation of an AI work platform, so flexible and intuitive, it feels like it was built just for you. Notice you're limitless. Now open your eyes, go to Monday.com, start for free, and finally, breathe.
Welcome to Ask Amy from What Fresh Hell, laughing in the face of motherhood, solving your parenting dilemmas one question at a time. This week's question came from our Facebook group. You can always ask questions and answer questions for each other there at facebook.com/groups/whatfreshhellcast. Kate wrote in to say, has anyone ever experienced your child making a friend, but you don't feel comfortable with your child going over to their house solo for playdates? Do you have any advice for how to navigate and what to say when your child is invited over? And what if you got a chance to know the parent, meeting them at the park or a school event or sports, but you didn't get the vibe that you'd be comfortable with your child going over there, but you see them all the time and you talk to the mom often and the kids beg for play dates in front of both parents? Edited to add, my kid is 7 years old. Kate, I am big on honoring vibes. You don't say, but I'm wondering, I'm assuming that this is a vibe that you only get in this case. If you're uneasy about your kid playing at anybody else's house, and this is the kid asking, and you're uneasy about that, that's something to maybe explore being more flexible around, at least once your kid is 7. But this sounds different. This sounds like it's just this one situation, and you don't say why. Obviously, you didn't want to give a lot of detail. So let's explore the options. If it's a level of discomfort with the parent that you're feeling, whether it's this parent's choices or their oversight or the way they let their kid behave or talk to them or whatever it is, then that's a little simpler. If the kid seems nice enough, then you don't send your kid to their house. You let this kid come to your house. You oversee the play date. You're in earshot. You're around maybe a little more than you might be, and maybe this is fine. If it's a level of discomfort with the kid, that's a little more complicated. Like, let's say the parent seems fine and nice, but something is clearly off. That's hard. And you have to honor that too. But I'm not sure that that's what's happening here, because it sounds like your kid is dying to play with this other kid. Maybe this kid is like a little bit of a bad influence, but they're not somebody who yells and screams and throws sand. So if that's the case and you're like, I don't know about this kid, and your kid is maybe a little attracted to that and excited about it, but it seems like maybe okay, then I would say that's something you kind of keep an eye on. And if the kids ask for a play date in front of you, then I would maybe say, how about we plan to meet at the playground next Thursday? We'll be right here on Thursday. We'll see you next Thursday, which is honoring their request in a way while not making it a full-on one-on-one play date. Of course, there's discomfort when the kids are, please, please, mom, in front of each other. And then there's another level of discomfort that sounds like it might be happening where the other parent will invite your kid over in front of everybody, in front of your kid. And then it's, please, please, mom. If that's happening and you know it's going to happen, that is awkward. Of course, it's awkward. And what I would do then is I would practice my phrase ahead of time. If you know you tend to see these people after soccer practice at the playground, practice that phrase. Say, oh, you know what? Some things are actually moving around with our after school schedule right now. I'll have to get back to you. Something like that. The kids will be like, oh, mom, please. They'll get pushed back. Just keep saying that. If the parent asks again the next week, you keep saying that. Is it uncomfortable? Yes, but you keep it like polite and firm and specific, and don't make excuses and just keep saying the same thing, and the message will come across. You know, I've been on both sides of this. I've been the one sort of delivering the polite no, and I've been the one receiving the polite no, and not really understanding why it was happening exactly, but getting like this was not a parent whose mind was going to change. And, you know, I was uncomfortable with that for like 2 hours, and then we live our lives. It's worth honoring the discomfort and sitting with it if this is a feeling you're having about the situation in particular. If it's the other kid's behavior that is troubling you and your own kid is giving you pushback and there's a disconnect there, you know, maybe there is a time and a place where you say, you know, I saw how Bradley was hitting his sister at the playground, and I didn't really think that was so nice. What did you think? And get like where your kid is coming from. What's this other kid's appeal to your kid? as always, be open to receiving more information. Be open to, am I misreading this? Because maybe you are. Be open to changing your mind because this kid, matures a year and is a completely different kid. But I do think the gift of instinct is worth honoring, and you don't want to put your kid into an even potentially unsafe situation because you feel bad saying no. The safety of your kid and your relationship with your kid has to remain paramount. Send us your parenting questions, and we might answer yours next. Email us questions@whatfreshhellpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.